name is Ekwa Abudu. I'm the chairperson of the Board of Trustees. IDAN was set up to regulate interior design in Nigeria, a networking forum to promote professionalism and of course to regulate the industry.
My name is Bruce Ono-Brakpeya. I have been in the arts practicing for over 60 years. But I'm always fascinated with our African art, our Nigerian art. And this section of the show here happens to be my favorite. As one of the Zaria Art Society revolutionaries, I asked people to go back in time to look at our ideas and values and upgrade them for the present and the future. And these works represent that past with all the beautiful things in them. And I think they are great inspiration to the works being done today. I am asking my fellow artists to study them very well and then use them and move forward.
My name is Omoliho Udenta. I'm a graphic artist by training and I teach at Yaba College of Tech. I'll say I started out making paper flowers first, or flowers from paper. And that was for an exhibition some time ago, the female artist exhibition organized by African Artists Foundation. And I was trying to create the Garden of Eden and I worked with paper to do that. And people found it interesting, I think, and then so I started producing paper flowers, but mostly for events and home decor, that kind of thing. But in the course of doing that, I realized that I could give these flowers my own interpretations, create my own designs, so to speak. And then I started using, and I wanted to create flowers that were more durable than the ones I was making with paper. So I went first into creating what you would say were similar flowers to those that I was making with paper, but this time using aluminium sheets and fabric. Now from that, I now wanted to put a little, because you know the plain metal flowers were very attractive, but I felt they didn't have much of me as a personality in them, and that's how I got to this point where I started inscribing or texturizing the metal to get what I wanted.
My name is Logo, and I'm a photographer, I'm an artist. I make films, I make collages, and this is my booth. These are my photos. They are part of a project I do on Lagos. It's called Monochrome Lagos. I'm trying to pull up a digital archive on the city through black and white photography, like by paying attention to the lines, paying attention to the forms, paying attention to patterns, you know, propping up otherwise banal and uninteresting, ignored things, propping them up for inspection through a poetic black and white photography. That's what I love doing. Black and white photography is it's a movement, you know, since the invention of the camera itself. Old masters that we admire, the Magnum photographers of this world, the Winon Grants of this world, the Robert Franks of this world, even to the Sumi Smakos, the Pao Jekeres, the Akimbode Akimbi. You know, there's a progression. There's always been this group of photographers who love seeing the world through this limited palette of black and white, you know, and I want to follow in that tradition.
I'm Dr. Tobenna Okwosa. I'm an artist and a lecturer at the Niger Delta University, a practicing artist, as you can see, a researcher and a writer and a critic, and some will also say a social activist. From historical facts to poetic truths. This is a project I've been on for some years. Actually, maybe for like three years ago, or maybe 5 years ago. But the major aim was to show this work this year, 50 years after 1967 declaration of the Republic of Biafra. Wole Soyinka, as we know, visited Ojukwu during the war in 1967, trying to see how he could mediate and bring an end to this war at the early stage of it. But on his return to the Nigerian side, he was accused of being in the support of the secessionists and planning to help them procure ammunition and all that. Then he was incarcerated put in solitary confinement for several months and was only released after the end of the war in 1970.
Hi, so you're joining me at the New Realities virtual reality exhibition, and we're showing 4 African-based virtual reality pieces. All the artists are from Africa. We have 2 from Kenya, 1 from Senegal, and another one from Ghana. The artists I'm showing today are Jonathan Dotse, Ngendo Muki, Seli Rabi Kane, and then the Nest Collective. And the work we're showing is quite diverse. We have something that looks a little bit gamey, and that's from the Nest Collective. We have another piece that we've had people literally shaking in their boots, I would say, which is by Seli Rabi Kane in another Dakar. One of the pieces is very poetic, and it's a dance piece through the forest, and that's called Nairobi Berries. And that's from Ngendo Muki. And the final piece, which is from Jonathan Dotse, which is an immersion into the Chalewote Festival that takes place in Accra. So it's been a really interesting experience to introduce the Nigerian, the Lagos public to virtual reality. And for us, I'm based in Nigeria, and I run an organization called Van Lagos, and we work by promoting new media arts, and that's sound, digital, video, of course, and now virtual reality. And we feel like this is a good time for Africa to get onto the playing field when it comes to virtual reality, because it means that we're starting almost at the same time as the rest of the world. Whereas I feel that we've had to play catch up in some of the other mediums and art forms. And I believe that the digital space, the tech space in terms of art, that we have really strong content. We have stuff to share with the rest of the world. So I'm excited that we have the New Dimensions exhibition, and I'm excited for the new work that I know is going to come out of Africa.
Hello, my name is Jade Falawio, and I'm a product designer based in London, but I've also exhibited and do some work in Nigeria as well, in Lagos. As a product designer, I specialize in home accessories, and so that includes lamps, vases, candle holders. Typically my work is in ceramic, glass, and in metal. And this particular project was something that was commissioned by the Design Museum in London, and their brief was in pursuit of imperfection. And so my angle started from research into Nigerian metalwork. So I'm very interested in, and most of my works, whether they have an African context or look, they always start with something from African history, and this started from research into metalwork, bronze metalwork, and how they're used and manipulated. And so that led me to start looking at the use of copper and how to color it. You'll see that a lot of our traditional bronze works don't have that bronze finish anymore. They're brown and deeper and richer in color. And so for me, that was a very interesting angle to look at how you can take a shiny metallic sheet of metal and have it bring out different life, different color and texture and pattern. And that's what I'm working with these lampshades.
I'm Roger Carrera. I'm artist manager based in France, trying to showcase some talents from Africa. So here I'm presenting Inoussa Dao work from Burkina Faso. He's doing a great job about upcycling. He upcycling wood, bicycle chains, some African masks. So I'm presenting you Kofi Mens, who is artist from Togo living in Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso too.
My name is Lani Adeoye, and I'm from Studio Lani, and I was really inspired by the talking drums. So I had an earlier collection called the Talking Tables, and that really set the tone for sort of working with metal lines. If you think about talking drums and you think about the strings, so that became metal lines for me, and the sculptural shape kind of morphed into different shapes. But that was really sort of the essence of a lot of the pieces that I've designed. And some of the lighting fixtures were inspired by a bird's nest. And this piece right here is called Sisi Echo, and it sort of has that feminine aura, which I wanted to sort of showcase. I really wanted to create pieces that sort of echo that sort of African elegance and that sculptural quality that I feel like a lot of our African sort of heritage has. And I also wanted to do something that was intricate in terms of the craftsmanship. So yeah.
My name is Joseph Eze. I'm an artist. I create a lot of things. I paint. I do installations. I sometimes video arts once in a while. And so many other things. I just create things and I love creating things. But now, I'm mainly involved with paintings. I do a lot of painting with acrylic and canvas. And I do a lot of work with found materials, reusable materials. For example, slippers. I work a lot with slippers. So I try to find newer uses for it after they've been used and transform it into some sort of expression, artistic expression, and so many other things. Yeah.
My name is Moyo Gusende. I'm an architect and I do real estate development. But above and beyond, I am an artist. We create AGA concept, African-inspired items, products, homeware, and also art pieces, functional art pieces like what I'm sitting on now. What I'm sitting on now is called the Oko chair. We were inspired by the African hoe, which, that form, that shape has been there for centuries, years, but we just thought it was time for someone to look at it again and see, look, what more can it be to us? And we're particularly enamored by the form and also the form at the back, which is made of wood, and then the flat piece we made into the seat, and it has this piece at the back that comes out. So it's basically a garden chair, and it's also a piece of art as well. We have them as benches in different colors. So we're continuously inspired by these stories. We also have other items like the Ayo board, which we've redefined in terms of like the pellets. We made them out of bronze from Benin. We made the pellets out of concrete, going back to my love for architecture and concrete. We've also changed how the top would be. We solved a problem, a classic Ayo problem, which is we lose the seeds all the time. So we created a very sleek, minimal cover that slides in and out. And we also have some things from our older collections, which are homeware, chopping boards, bowls, pestles and mortar. And we just are there to keep on creating stuff that inspires us about the continent, Nigeria, the Yoruba, Igbo tradition, Hausa. So the sky's the limit. We're just starting, really.
My name is Nana Spiogarbra, and I am the creative director of an advisory company called Blueprint Africa. And we are involved in this project in the sense that I served as a curatorial assistant and was able to secure the participation of over 19 designers to be in the design pavilion of the African Culture and Design Festival. My goal as a co-curator of this space was to make sure that there was actually a lot of Francophone participation. So we have representation from Burkina Faso, from Mali, and also I wanted to make sure that people knew that other countries in West Africa have a lot of talent. So I actually have two designers here from Accra, Ghana, Studio Badge and Takura.
Hello guys, my name is Osaru Alile and I'm the assistant curator for the design pavilion at ACDF and also one of the guys that planned the outside experience. So ACDF, which is African Culture and Design Festival, is the first of its kind in Nigeria. There's a mixture of culture, design, arts, furniture, products, like all the amazing designy stuff all in one space. It took us a year to plan this, believe it or not, because we got designers from all over Africa to come and be a part of this. And also the Interior Design Federation were having their congress in Nigeria. So we had lots of people from 162 countries all here in one space to look through what Africa is today.
Nigeria has come into its own. I believe that as music has been the greatest export. I think in the next couple of years, art is going to be the next export of Nigeria. And we are here to promote creativity and design.